everyone. Welcome to the Stoa. Rest in peace, Liminal Web, a death ritual. So do not let this provocative title fool you. We're not killing the liminal web or anything silly like that. And who knows, the term might even become an even stronger attractor after this session is over. And how the session came about, I heard through the liminal grapevine that Joe was feeling a little off about the term, and I was as well, for a few reasons. One, I might have been getting a little egoically attached to the term, like, oh yeah, like I'm a central node of the liminal web, and feeling all cool about that. And when I identify myself at the Stoa with anything, I usually feel sort of like an energetic like blockage, and like ultimately identifying with a construct is not liminal enough for me. So the idea of this session is to release any unexamined expectations that any of us might have, while at the same time honoring the good stuff and the good aspects that the liminal web, or any scene for that matter, Game B, Dark Renaissance, Meta Modern, Integral, Post-Rats, whatever, honor the good stuff that those belonging or having a sense of belonging to those scenes have brought us. And most importantly, this is stuff is really about, this is excuse to have a sense of belonging. And that's what this session is really about today, putting emphasis on belonging. This is going to be a very interactive session, and hopefully we'll exercise our belongingness muscles. So in a moment, I'll explain how today is going to work, but I'll tag in the coiner of the liminal web, Joe Lightfoot, to share any thoughts that he might have about this session or the liminal web more generally. Joe, you are up, my friend.
Hey, Peter. Hello, everyone. It's lovely to be here with you. I'm feeling some feelings suitably. I'm feeling some sweetness, some sadness, and then I'm feeling in the company of really beautiful friends, and knowing that whatever you go through together is always a deepening and profound experience. So it's a nice way to start. It's a sunny autumn equinox morning. Wishing you all well from here in the countryside in Victoria. Welcoming in all the sense makers, meta theorists, systems poets, and everyone in between. I want to share a few words that I wrote in preparation for the ritual today. So I'll probably go for about 4 or 5 minutes. Here we have it. First and foremost, I'm here to celebrate and deepen the sense of companionship that I feel with each of you here now, and with everyone in the wider liminal orbit. It's good to be connected to you more broadly, and also here in this moment. Far beyond just a particular word or two, I'm here to collectively let go of anything that might no longer be serving us, so that we can dance forward more freely together into the unknown. I feel that invoking the essence of liminality brings with it certain responsibilities. Just like with the muse, you cannot coax the liminal forward and then capture her in a bottle. She's far too potent and far-reaching for that. So when Peter reached out to me with the notion of a liminal death ritual, I was immediately an intuitive yes. Though admittedly, my heart also raced in my chest. Is it too soon? Am I really ready? Will people feel betrayed? But I kept hearing an inner whisper. Let the liminal web become liminal again. When the article was first published, it garnered a strong response. It spoke to people. As to be expected, there was a small and persistent trickle of grumbles. The framing is too inclusive. It's not inclusive enough. Why am I specifically named? Why aren't I specifically named? So on and so forth. But this was dwarfed in comparison by the flow of gratitude from people who felt deeply seen. They shared how the liminal framing had allowed them to lean into a much stronger sense of belonging in this scene than they'd ever felt before. And that was meaningful to me. And I've since formed a number of potent new connections that I'm really grateful for. A few others were immediately lit up by this liminal declaration. Poems were composed, DAOs were coalesced, and I got an inkling of what could emerge if we all playfully offered up some creative energy in a common direction. We could actively create a living mythos together. Beyond that, I watched the term transmogrify into a kind of hyper object. It came to mean many different things to many different people. Hopes, dreams, grievances, and gripes were all gradually woven into the liminal thread. And so in just 4 or 5 months, I recognized the term liminal web now had a very different timbre, one that was foreign to me in many ways. And that brings us to this moment, with the liminal web poised on the edge of death and potential renewal. So what's dying today and what will remain? I think it'll be different for everyone. For me, I'm letting go of any sense of custodianship. Though I've held it lightly from the start, I'm wholly releasing the liminal framing into the wild and encouraging it to become whatever it wants to be. I also want to release any thinkers in the space from being externally identified as liminal luminaries against their will. My original intent in this mapping was to try and shed light on the broader network, particularly on those outside of the spotlight. I wasn't intending to reify individual thinkers, as for me, the next Buddha will definitely be more of a Sangha. So Peter and others, I wholeheartedly support you in reclaiming your maximal daemonic majesty. May you shine on beyond any definition. I also want to celebrate those for whom the term continues to resonate. Perhaps there is a new chapter of liminality after this. Personally, I will continue to use the term as a useful and much needed shorthand for this mercurial collection of communities we find ourselves a part of. But that said, I think it's healthy to have a number of different monikers: the liminal web, the metaspace, the sense-making scene. Both integral and metamodernism also appear to be going through continual renewal, and this feels fitting to me. A panoply of lightly held labels that can serve as differing on-ramps for people from all walks of life. I don't want to shy away from the desire to belong, to form broader movements, to cohere and co-create. I'm seeing the liminal become more and more tangible. As COVID thaws, we seem to be consummating the precious digital communitas we've been cultivating online with moments of in-person communion. So let's break bread, plant trees, share in new experiences, and most of all, create culture with each other. Perhaps we're all on the cusp of shifting into a more imaginal phase, just moments away from the unfolding of our increasingly integrated and multi-perspectival wings. I'm deeply interested in the communal dance between sovereignty and belonging, the in-breath of leaning into each other, cohering and sharing in potent moments of pathos, eros, and philia, just like now. Before exhaling, returning to our center and rediscovering our individual agency and autonomy, readying ourselves to reconnect once more from a place of clarity and power. If I lean more towards the in-breath of belonging and Peter towards the out-breath of sovereignty, then perhaps somewhere between the two of us lies a harmonious and dynamic respiration. It's my hope that we spend this time together moving more fully into the unknown. According to Jonathan Harris's model, this ritual we're partaking in today is part ceremony and part spell, part catharsis and part communion, simultaneously about connecting and transforming. And with Raven, Schuyler, and Benita guiding us forward, I think we're in very safe hands. The liminal is dead. Long live the liminal. And that's my piece, friends. Handing back over to you, Peter.
Amen to all that, brother. Awesome. So we're going to be scheduled for 90 minutes today. Could go less, it could go a little over, or we're not going to really pay attention. We're going to be in the liminal today, not really pay attention to a sense of time, but come and go as you please. And we'll be having 3 exercises. And in one of the exercises, you'll need a small piece of paper to write on, front and back, a pen and a lighter, and a place to burn. So that will be happening mid-session. And our hostess for the evening is everyone's favorite digital socialite of many online scenes, sometimes known as the philosopher queen, the Stoa's very own Blackbird, Raven Connolly. And when the Stoa first started 2 years ago now, the Stoa's birthday is actually tomorrow, Raven and I created something called Socratic speed dating. Basically, the speed dating format where you have brief encounters with people, but in a platonic way with super deep questions. And it was a hit, and Raven was doing it for about a year, and it was one of the most beloved reoccurring sessions at the Stoa. So in addition of the 3 exercises we're going to do, we're going to have 3 Socratic speed dating like breakout rooms, which Raven will guide us through. So that being said, Raven, I'm going to take you in and hand the keys to the Stoa to you.
Ooh, the keys to the Stoa, they burn a hole in my pocket. Hello, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today and to lead everyone through Socratic speed dating. So for those of you who are not familiar, the speed dating format is I will throw you into a breakout room with 2 other people. There will be 3 in total. And you all dance with a prompt or a question for a few minutes. And I wanted to have us sit with that last beautiful slogan, that conjuring that Joe gave to us. The liminal is dead. Long live the liminal. All of us are here for some reason, some sort of attraction to the scene of some kind. So I'm going to ask you all to bring yourselves to the group that you're in. Invite what wants to come, whatever context you're bringing, but also sit with the thing that kind of ties us all together. The names, or what is beneath the names, the context that draws us into this world that we're all kind of grasping to try and understand through symbols and through magic and through ritual. So the prompt is to invite what's alive. If you have something to say, greet your neighbor, greet the person next to you, say something for the spring or for the autumn, and lean into this idea of the liminal and what brings us all together here today. So with that, I'm going to put everybody into a breakout room. We're going to have 6 minutes, so kind of, 2 minutes for each person. And that's what we're going to do. So just sit with that for a moment while I put the rooms together. What is the liminal for you? What are you bringing today? Welcome back, everyone. Hope that was a lovely grounding experience to check in with the other people in the room here, say hello to familiar faces, meet some new people. I had a good time talking to Joe in our group. So now that we've kind of sat with ourselves and been greeted, I'm going to turn over the keys to Schuyler. It's going to lead us through an embodiment exercise. So Schuyler, welcome.
Thank you, Raven. That was really, really beautiful. I loved it. I didn't want to leave Holly. So hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. I am really feeling the equinox. I guess fall equinox, Joe, where you are, and spring here in the Northeast. And I'm going to lead us through a sit, like an embodiment practice sit. And I really want to work with this theme that Joe introduced of this dance between sovereignty and belonging in the body. And also I'm just feeling like at this time of the spring equinox, like all the fertility, the freshness, the newness, like the turning of the year into this new season, into these new beginnings. And it feels really beautiful that we're doing this ritual here. It was often, like traditionally, many cultures use fire rituals at this time of year, and we're coming out of winter, and there's a lot of like shedding of skins and shedding of the hibernating layers and the insular aspect of that season, and sort of offering and allowing the fire to purify and burn through and making space for what's new. I also would love to work with my friend Holly I just met in speed dating. She confirmed my intuition that we needed the element of water also. And so if you have water near you, we might use a little at some point. Yeah. So, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you want to go get some water, so I have next to me some fire and I have some water, which is probably a good thing to have on hand with the fire anyway, with the burning we're going to be doing. All right, so let's get started. So make yourself comfortable. The position that I'm going to recommend for this sit is just if you're in a chair, like feet flat on the ground. Okay, because we're going to actually pull some of the earth's energy up into the body through the feet. And so if you can, if your feet reach the ground, if you can sit, like actually this posture and the practice we're about to do is was taught to me as an Egyptian practice. So if you think about the Egyptian, the imagery where they're often like really like seated very straight up and down, and then they're, the thighs, like everything's kind of angular, the feet flat on the ground. So we're going to sit like that for the beginning of this meditation, and then you can relax whenever you like. So yeah, so go ahead and take your seat, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And just take a few breaths, or just begin to focus on the breath. And we're just going to release into the awareness, into our own awareness of our bodies, of space. And just noticing what's coming up for you to sit with this group of people, to sit on the equinox, to be here now. What's alive, what's present. And then we're going to do this 3 times, but we're basically going to pull the energy, or allow the energy of the earth to begin to move up through the left foot, up through the calf, into the knee, up the thigh, up the left side of the body, up into the left side of the face, the head, and moving across to the right side and down into the right shoulder, into the right side of the chest, right torso, right hip, right thigh, right knee, down and out the right foot. And just feel that cycle now again, moving up the left side. If you're a visual person, you can also see this energy as light. You can see it as a color. It's moving up the left side of the body. Moving into the left side of the face, the left side of the head, moving into the right. And you can really feel this energy just washing, wiping away. Anything old, stuck, stagnant, anything that's ready to go, pulling it down through the right side. Through the right thigh, knee, out the right foot. And one more time. And this time, just really let the energy move on its own. Just feeling yourself connected to earth, part of the cycle. Really open and receptive on the left side to her energies. And letting it wash down through the right side of the body. And out the right foot. And now sitting, become very aware of the steadiness of your seat, like the stability of the seat. You can imagine that there are roots. Maybe you have become a plant-like being, a tree. And feeling your roots through the root of your body, the roots in the feet. You're planted. And feeling the energy rising up through the chest, the trunk, your branches, feeling that energy of spring, new life. And the change of season. And the reaching up through the crown into the heavens, the cosmos. And becoming a bridge between earth and heaven. And then just touching in for a minute with that idea of sovereignty. So you're rooted, you're reaching. The steadiness of your trunk, the strength of your will. The openness of the heart, radiance of the heart. And now with your eyes still closed, let's just imagine or recognize that we are sitting within a grove of trees. Each one of us. Part of this grove. And maybe looking around in your imagination, in your inner eye, you can see these beautiful trees, these beautiful beings, each one with a heartbeat, each one connected under the earth by the mycelium. And if you want to open your eyes slowly without moving too much, and then without trying to focus too hard, you can just see some of the other trees in the grove. Maybe connect with one or two. If you feel a little smile or you just want to witness this beautiful being, the belonging. And just feeling that steadiness, that wisdom, the timeless wisdom of the grove. And closing your eyes again. Feeling the heart, your heart, feeling gratitude in the heart. And we're going to end with a quick fire practice with the fire and then a quick practice with the water. So if you have fire, go ahead and or you can just use your hands and warm your hands like this. We're going to use the warmth, the heat to purify our vision for the next cycle, the next season. So just warm with your hands and put them over the eyes and allow that heat to purify the vision. Even if you don't know what the vision is, you don't have it yet, just know that this is what we're doing. We're purifying the vision each of us holds. And then more heat. And when you feel some of that heat, you're going to put your hands to your heart. This is just purifying and calling forward the courage, compassion, and burning away any smallness, any doubt. Just feeding the heart exactly what it needs to be strong for this next cycle. And then one more time, we're going to put some of that heat, some of that purifying fire into the belly. Just to be strong in our convictions and get that will fired up, the discipline, the warriorship, the life force, creativity, sensuality, just all that fountain of life there in the belly. All right, thank you to the fire. And finally, if you have the water and you feel it, just a little baptism, a little clearing away of anything you're holding that might not be yours, that might be ready to go. It could be grief. It could be none of these things are bad. It could be fear. It could be old habits. It could be old patterns. It could be attachment. Whatever it is, just trusting the water to bring us back to that primordial innocence, like a baptism. It feels amazing. I don't know about you, but the cooling is like, I just want to be in the water. And final, just close the eyes for one more second. Just going back inside for one more second before we come back into the group, and just so much care, so much love, so much gratitude for this being that you are, and for the being that we are as a whole, whatever the movement, whatever the name, whatever it's called, just like really feeling the I, the we, the all of us. Yeah. Thank you. I think we're complete.
Thank you, Schuyler.
Thank you, Schuyler. That was lovely.
Amazing. All right. I'm going to take us into the next round of Socratic speed dating. But we want to keep that vision, that purified vision, and that warm heart, and the strong stomach, and that feeling of having let go with the water. We're going to keep that with us. And we're going to think about these names, these identifications, the liminal web, the dark Renaissance, metamodernism, the Stoa, these words that we use to bring ourselves together. Feel into it and think about, where is the gap? Where are those names not bringing everything that's here? Where do they disappoint you? Where do they annoy you? Where do they leave you questioning something? So the prompt for our next room is to name the gap. The feeling, does it give you a sense of irritation? Does it give you a sense of wonder? Does it give you a sense of disappointment? Or does it feel like an invitation to find what's there in that gap? So we're going to bring all of that to the surface, into our voices, into the group together in this next Socratic speed dating. So I'm going to put everyone into breakout rooms. This is going to be 10 minutes, and most of you will be in a group of 3, and some will be in a group of 2. So I'll see you all soon. I hope that was generative for everyone. It was very generative for me to sit with my partner in that session. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Peter Lindbergh to bring us into our next exercise, our next ritual.
Thank you, Raven. So we're going to do a collective burn now. And the stuff that you're going to need is a piece of paper, ideally a small one that you can write on both sides, a pen or pencil, a lighter, and then something to burn it with. And on one side of the paper, you're going to write one thing you want to release, perhaps some kind of unhealthy attachment, expectations, disappointments that you might have towards the liminal web, or any scene that you have some kind of attachment to, Game B, Dark Renaissance, Metamodernism, Integral, whatever. And on the other side, you're going to write something that you took away from the scene that you deeply want to honor. And then we're going to burn it. And so there's going to be a few of us that are going to burn while everyone watches us burn, probably six of us, and then we're going to collectively burn. So if you want to burn in front of everyone and read it out loud, just put your hand icon up, and then I'll select you. I'll go first, and Joe will go last, then we'll do the collective burn, and then we'll have 4 people in the middle. So that being said, let's take a moment, get your equipment if you need to. Otherwise, write down what you want to release and what you want to honor. All right, so 6 of us will, I don't know who exactly, 6 of us will burn, and then we'll collectively burn. Raven, do you have ability to spotlight whoever's speaking? Yeah, I think it'd be good to spotlight this one.
I think so, yeah. Do you want me to spotlight you, Peter?
Yeah, just spotlight the speaker. I think
Okay.
that would be. Okay, so I am letting go of wanting everyone to like me and see me in whatever scene I end up in. I am honoring that there are actually other human beings that are into the weird shit I'm into. At one point in my life, I felt like I was the only one. I no longer feel alone. Lisa, would you like to go next?
Sure. I am releasing the category of art, and I'm honoring ritual breathing between sovereignty and belonging in the best dark forest in a bad hyperobject.
Thank you, Lisa. Jeremy, would you like to go next?
Sure. Thanks, Peter. All right, so I am releasing, and this is from the languages from Natalia from our group, releasing the reifying of the liminal, the reification of the interim, or the Janus-faced world, and the reification of Nepantla. But I am honoring our communion, our fellowship, our intergenerational being there in the present with the planetary, being a good ancestor together, being present to the actualization of the future. Let's see if I can get this lighter going here. There we go.
you, Jeremy. Natalia, would you like to go next?
Sure, thank you. I would like to release competition, fear, envy, and judgment of other people's definition of the world. And I would like to honor mutual recognition, beautiful proliferating diversity, and collective trust.
Thank you, Natalia. And yeah, just needless to say, be careful, everyone, when you burn. Raven, our hostess, would you like to go?
Yeah. Spotlight myself here. I want to release the desire to push away from groups because they don't live up to their names. And I want to honor the people, their attention, concerns, cares, and growth that are here.
And before we go to the collective burn, Joe Lightfoot, would you like to burn?
Yes, really wishing I had a cauldron right now. We might have to do a line of liminal cauldrons specifically for this in the future. I am honoring how freaking scary it can be to lean into an slightly ill-defined online, is it happening, is it not happening, do people love me or not, am I welcome or not, kind of wider scene. And I'm releasing the fear from keeping on showing up and doing that and building that gentle weave of love and connection and understanding and safety. And I'm leaning into that. Mm. Thanks, guys.
And if Raven, so we wanted to do 3 men and 3 women. And Raven, if you can turn the spotlight off now. And everyone, or you can maybe turn the spotlight off yourself. Everyone, let's get a collective burn on. So if you haven't burned yet, burn away.
I want everyone to take in a deep breath. Bring in the smell of the burning paper. Everyone has that smell around them right now of the things that they just released. So for this final Socratic speed dating, we're going to sit with what we are honoring, or how Benita put it in the chat in the beginning of our session. We're going to name something that burns and grows only stronger. So sit with that. What burns and grows stronger? Bring in that smell of smoke. And I'm gonna bring everybody into a breakout room for 10 minutes. Okay. See you all soon. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that was a beautiful experience for you all. Yeah, something that came up in my session, a thought that I had was this idea of holding on to yourself, holding on to your imperceptibility, to your being, in the face of words and definitions and identities. That's what I'll be carrying with me. Wow, and with that, I'm going to hand it over to Benita Roy. She's going to lead us through our final ritual. So Benita, welcome to the stage. Where is she?
Am I here?
There you are. Mhm.
Okay. I want you all to, can you hear me? Yeah. I want you all to make the sounds I make. And it helps with your hands. Go for it. Big breath in. Come on, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Everybody, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Ready? No. No. This is a disciplined practice. Shut up until we do it. Shut up until we do it. Big breath in. It's a discipline thing, so very quiet in between. Try that. Okay. And now. Back to ground. Do it. It's a disgusting. It's disgusting. How do you feel?
Woo.
That's how I talk to my animals. It's like a 2,000-pound horse coming at you, and you go, yeah, what's up? And there's another one. There's like a little bird, and there's oh, look, there you go. So pop, 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 pop. Yeah. That's the language of feeling. Everything else is bullshit. Yeah. Oh, mama, I feel this, I feel that. Oh, I feel sad. Oh, yeah, I feel like the world is the liminal space. Why are pop pop? But it's up on that Whoa! My sister took my Coco. Yeah. It's a pop. There we go. No! Yeah! Sucking Kindle! Don't quote me on that, okay? I'm done.
Wow. Thank you, Benita. Or maybe I should say, "Roar!" Wow. Okay. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Peter to take us on our way out of this ritual.
There's some food. Yeah.
I have no idea how to follow that one. I think I'm just going to end the stoa. I think I'm going to finally end the stoa. Yeah. Well, thank you, Raven, Benita, Schuyler, and Joe. So we're going to close shortly. In about 2 to 5 minutes, after this session closes, check your email. So everyone check your email 2 to 5 minutes after this closes. And I'm going to close the recording now, or turn off the recording.